the last two games. Szoboszlai might be getting a new contract, as it seems preliminary talks have begun. And Trey Nyoni is apparently in a difficult space as it pertains to his first team future. People, it's Thursday, which means LFC In Focus live here with Jamie Phillips from Liverpool Chats TV, not Jamie Phillips Football Chats anymore. So, people, sit back, relax. Let's get into this.
Hi, this is Jordan Henderson, and you're watching Team Kop-ish.
Ain't free back again, ripping LFC till the end, so go on tell a friend. If they rockin' red, they're a 10 champions, we the best, we come again. Kop-ish clean up in every region, elevation in every season. Catch up in all the fast match up in real rap, and drifty go on tell them this is that, this is that. This is Kop-ish, this is Kop-ish. Reppin' Liverpool till the end, champions, we the best, come again. This is that, this is Kop-ish, this is Kop-ish. The main free back up in your screen, real ones know this the place to be. This is Kop-ish.
Good morning, lovely people. Hope you're well. Please do smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to Jamie's channel as well. Jay, morning, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Apart from kids are here. Yeah, all good. All good.
Do you know, I'm laughing because how you are is how I probably look on camera when
yeah.
No joking. It's no joke at all. And I big up, appreciate you, man. Jay, obviously we've actually spoken quite a few times since the Real Madrid game and stuff, but probably not in front of this audience now. 2 wins in 2 going into a week that a lot of us feared, if we're going to be honest. How are you feeling now about Liverpool and Slot? Obviously, we share the same opinion on the Slot situation. How are you feeling about things now?
I'm just taking it one game at a time at the moment, to be fair. You know, my thing with Slot is that the thing that peeved me off the most is I know he's capable of so much more.
Yeah.
And not showing that is what made me angry. So the last 2 games, the Villa game pleased me because I saw a little bit of a change. I see that same sort of philosophy in the Real Madrid game, but the performances was much better.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gave me a lot of joy seeing these 2 games. You know, this, as you said, Villa, City, Madrid, all in the same week. In the way we've been playing, it was quite worrying. You know, Villa just beat City the week before we played them. Then we beat Villa. Everyone thought we were going to get smashed by Real Madrid, but we only gave them one big chance in the whole game.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking it one game at a time. You know, sometimes I hear my manager come out with some weird stuff and, you know, saying we only played like this for Real Madrid, you know, because of certain players. And you're thinking, well, if you've got this tactical ability in you to change things up game for game, why haven't you been doing that the whole season?
Yeah.
You know, that's what's weighing me up.
Why haven't you been doing that in 2025?
Yeah, and that's what's weighing me up because he's obviously very capable of it. So I don't know if anyone's seen the comments he made about the Real Madrid game, the way we played. He's set up a way to keep Real Madrid at bay. So he's tactically, that means he tactically knows and understands what he's doing, but he doesn't do it. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I hear it. I'm actually going to share the screen grab of his quotes. So this is what Arne had to say. I think you need to control almost everything if you play Real Madrid because they have so many weapons. But the thing I said was we either press them really high and aggressive or we go to a complete low block. If you were in between playing against Vinicius or Mbappe, who probably is one of the players with the best at deep runs and incredible pace, it's so hard to control that. And we kind of saw from the game, Jay. I mean, I still think we implemented a low block. Sorry, no, mid block. Sorry, not a low block.
Yeah, mid block.
I think there are times where you low block, but I think that's part and parcel of football. Sometimes you have to go low block, or else teams are just going to run in behind.
You adapt.
Yeah, I think we played predominantly a mid block against Real Madrid, and we just utilized the ball well. We pressed them when we needed to. I think Jamrock's alluded to this quite a few times over the years, whether it be Klopp or Slot. There's nothing wrong sometimes with conceding a bit of the football pitch. Sometimes it actually benefits you because it means you're not doing as much running, tracking back, but it also means you have a lot more space to run into as an attacker as well. Because if you're playing so high up, it means you're pushing your position back, which means there's less space in behind. If you concede a little bit of pitch, players like your Salahs, players like your Gakpos, players like your Ekatikas, your Isaks, they can make those runs in behind because there would naturally be space to do that. So do you think this is something that Slot is going to implement going forward? Because he has also spoken saying that when we beat Real Madrid and Man City last season, he didn't like playing like that. He just did it. Do you think he sticks with this mid-block now? Or do you think we go back to...
This is why I say take one game at a time, because I don't know what the man's going to do. Yeah. You know, I think Slot wants to play his certain brand of football, and it's the brand of football that don't suit us. Yeah. And that's the issue. He wants to play his total Dutch football, yeah? If you look at before that, we had a Dutch coach in Pep Linders for 2 years.
He was trying to do the same
thing. Tried to do the same thing, and it didn't suit any of our players.
Yeah.
Right? Liverpool... It's inbred in Liverpool now to play counter-pressing and being aggressive. You know, that's what Liverpool about, and moving the ball quickly. When Liverpool do that, we look like a phenomenal football side. You know, you look at the players we've got available to us. In that Madrid game, you could see they all played with a smile on their face because they were being allowed to play the football they want to play. You know, Szoboszlai wants to move the ball quickly. He wants to be aggressive. He wants to press. Even Gravenberch wants to do that. McAllister likes being aggressive. You know, Robbo loves being aggressive.
Yeah.
Conor Bradley wants to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Move the ball quickly. I think Mo Salah's form has been bad this season because he's just been bad. But I also think we play the ball too slowly up to him. You know, we play 27 passes out around the back for no reason. Eventually get it to Mo Salah, and he's got no space.
Yeah.
Mo Salah needs space. So make it 3 passes. Get it quicker to him. And look what happens. We played quicker the last 2 games. Salah's form's improved in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Not just Salah. You know, all the wide play. Attacking. Cal, I don't know if coaches know this, but attacking players need space.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Jay. It's not just Salah whose performances have improved. I think everyone's performances, barring Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, who've already been at a high level this season.
Elite, yeah.
Everyone's improved. I do want to speak about the midfield though, because at the beginning of the season, Jay, you and I both sat there and said, everyone pretty much said, yes, Szoboszlai is going to be on the bench now that Wirtz is here. Me and you were like, Szoboszlai, you can't take him out of this team in midfield. Like, if you're playing Wirtz in the 10, you got to go Szoboszlai and Gravenberch in the pivot. And we kind of got like chastised for it quite a lot, which fair enough. McAllister was brilliant last season, so I understand the love and adoration he gets, and we're 2 people who are fond of McAllister as well. But just for balance sake, we were looking at it going, you can't play Mac and Grav as the pivot if Wirtz is the number 10. Not because Wirtz doesn't work hard, it's just from a defensive standpoint, you leave yourself lacking quite a lot. We also have said that you can't play them both in the midfield, but we said if you're going to play them both on the same pitch at the same time, Wirtz maybe needs to play off the left, but it wasn't something we liked seeing because of how the tactics were implemented. However, against Real Madrid, it worked to a T. McAllister had a good game, got the winning goal, and Wirtz, in my opinion, the best game in a Liverpool shirt so far. Yep. So crazy that even though Szoboszlai gets a lot of the plaudits, and deservedly so for his running and everything, Wirtz actually ran more than Szoboszlai and played less minutes. Yeah. Do you think Wirtz is potentially turning the corner? And also, do you think left wing for Wirtz is the way forward now?
I think the 11 we played against Real Madrid right now is our best 11.
Okay.
I think it's got the most balance in the team. I think you've got an experienced left back who knows what to do, you know, and also is far better in possession than Kirkes right now.
Yeah,
you know, and he's more mature. He understands the game. You got Conor Bradley, who I've said that beginning in the summer. I believe his slot's number 1 right back.
Yeah,
and I've always said it with Bradley. I know people don't like Conor Bradley. He's obviously he's had, in my opinion, he's had 2 games against Real Madrid from a defensive point of view that Trent Alexander-Arnold never.
Right? I think the only game I can put Trent in that category of when we played Man City back in 17-18 and he locked up Sane.
That was his best.
Rafael Leao he was good against, and Chelsea last season. But none of those were on the level of Mbappe or Vinny at the time.
No. And Yeah, I look at Conor Bradley. He's obviously got ability and he's a top player. You don't play like that against Real Madrid being as everyone says, a League One right back. You just don't. I've always said this with Conor Bradley. Conor Bradley's biggest enemy is Conor Bradley.
Mm.
You know, his body breaks down. If Conor Bradley can play 10 to 12 games in a row and get confidence and get better and better, I think you'll go see a very good player there. But his body lets him down time and time again, so we never see it. Yeah. And also what I like, this back four Liverpool got at the moment, it's Liverpool's best back four. It's had 2 games in a row now, 2 clean sheets. Don't change it. Stop rotating the back four. It does my head in. But with Wirtz, yes, he started on the left, but that man had a free roll.
Yeah.
He had a free roll. He wasn't like Gakpo where he's stuck to the left wing position. He was popping up on the right, in the middle, picking up in the deeper areas. And like you say with McAllister, when Wirtz and McAllister play in midfield together, they want to go into the same area of the pitch.
Yeah.
And occupy the same area of pitch. If Wirtz is playing off the left with a free roll, the space that he wants to go into, McAllister can then go and take the space that Wirtz was in before. Yeah. So they never go get in each other's way, which means you get better link-up play with Wirtz and the striker because McAllister can do his job in the space that Wirtz has taken away. So for me, this is our best 11 on paper right now. And Szoboszlai, man, he's the balance to the whole team for me. You know, I think Gravenberch is the link to the chain.
Yeah.
And I think Szoboszlai is just the whole balance of the football side right now. I said it yesterday on my show. For me right now, Szoboszlai is top 5 best midfielders in the world right now.
Yeah, in terms of performance so far.
He's right up there. He's right up there. He's amazing, man. I've never seen, I watch him. And 1 second he's in our box, and then clearing up defending. And then the next 10 seconds later, he's in the opposition box looking for a pass or a shot.
I said he's like Henderson on roids. He's like Henderson on roids.
It's mad.
Jay, I want to ask you though. So I want people to hear my question rather than jump to conclusions when I ask the question. Going into this week, all of us were nervous because of the form we're in. But Slot, even before the Villa game, said teams like Aston Villa suit us better because they don't usually play a lot of high balls. They like to play the ball. And we saw from the first goal against Villa, we caught them out in the press. Salah finishes it. You see with Real Madrid, barely any long balls. It was everything to feet, everything in front of us. Players weren't able to get in behind. So although they're fantastic wins, especially the Real Madrid one, stylistically, those matches suit us better than, say, your Brentfords, etc. Do you think there's an arrogance within the squad that we can just beat these smaller teams, but we only really get up for the bigger teams? And then also, do you think Liverpool revert back to type when we play lesser, quote unquote, lesser team?
And that's my worry a little bit. I think what Liverpool got to appreciate is that Liverpool are such a big side. Teams are going to play Liverpool differently, especially the smaller sides.
Yeah.
Bigger teams have got a philosophy they want to stick with. Because if you look at all the best teams in the world and the bigger teams, usually they got a certain philosophy they want to play with, and they play with that philosophy and don't change it much. They might tweak it here and there, but it's still the same kind of philosophy, and they believe in what they do. That's why they're the best teams. Smaller teams go to do things differently to upset the bigger side to try and get something out of the game as much as possible. What Liverpool got to start doing is when they play teams like Sunderland and Brentford and all that, it's got to be like Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Take them seriously. Don't go, oh, it's Brentford today. We just beat Real Madrid. You know, it don't matter what style we play Brentford with. You know, that's the mindset they got to have. Every team's Real Madrid. You know, no matter what. You know, against other teams like Sunderland and stuff like that, who might sit back a little bit lower, you know, because they're wary of the power of Liverpool having attack and stuff like that. You know, they're not going over, you know, try and play out from the back too much and bring too many men forward and leave gaps. Liverpool got to play the same way they do, but then tweak it a little bit. Right, so you've got the system, the setup. This is how we're going to play. We're going to play counter pressing.
Yeah.
But against other teams that are probably going to sit back a little lower, we've got to tweak it a little bit. But the main system is still in place. But little tweaks. It's like against low block teams, against Burnley. The thing that irritates me against Burnley is that you know what Burnley are going to do. They're not going too many men forward and just get beaten 9-0. They're going to sit in a low block. So when your team's sitting in a low block, why are we playing 20 passes around the back four? To let them get into position. You know, you get Virgil gets the ball, he plays it to Kanate plays it to Virgil. Virgil turns around, gives it back to the keeper.
Yeah.
He gives it then to Kirkes, and it goes into midfield. By the time done that, Burnley were in their set low block.
Regroup, precisely.
So what you got to do, you play 3 very quick passes. You move the ball quicker. And when Liverpool do that, there'll be a better side. So I'm hoping Slot's looking at this now and going, right, we've got this. It suits our players. Let's keep this. Let's keep going with this counter press, but could just tweak it. The counter press is the system, and then we tweak things for opposition teams. Because he did it last season. Every game we played last season, from the August to Christmas time, we played differently against opposition. We came against. He had his system, and then he tweaked it. He tweaked it all the time. And start of this season, he's gone, no, we're going to play this total Dutch football that don't suit any of my players. It's crazy.
One player who has excelled this season, despite what has been going on at Liverpool, is Dominik Szoboszlai. And Jay, we've been criticised heavily because of our fandom for Dominik Szoboszlai. And I'm not going to do the whole "I told you so," but at the moment, he's playing with such command and such conviction that it makes us look justified in trusting him. In the same way, in a couple months' time, people could get us and be like, well, you two said you were Slot out. Look at him now. And we'd have to take that one on the chin, right?
Yeah.
Szobo might be getting a new contract. Is this the best time to give Szobo a new contract? And does this send the best message out to the squad in the sense of, if you're performing at a high level, if you're consistent, if you're showing that you're giving 100% on the pitch, this is when we reward you. We won't wait until the end of the season. We won't wait till transfer windows. We'll show you we appreciate you now. We've just seen Gakpo get a new contract at the start of the new season. Talk is Ibu has been offered a new contract. Do you think now's the right time to offer Szoboszlai a contract? And also, do you think he's probably one of the most important players to tie down who hasn't been tied down recently?
Yeah, I mean, I look at Szoboszlai, and for me, Szoboszlai the other day walks into that Real Madrid midfield. You know, I like Tchouaméni, but I think he's a better player than Tchouaméni right now, things like that. So, you know, I think top teams will be looking at this guy. And when you're in this form and you've put in the work ethic, you know, in the summer, don't forget, in the summer, how many pictures did he keep bringing out of him in the gym every day? Yeah. He took the Vert signing seriously.
Yeah.
Right? Because everyone thought, oh, Vert's taking his spot. That's Szoboszlai done. You know, we know, you know, some people like think about Szoboszlai, close friends of ours. Right? And, you know, he took it seriously, and he's worked. And he's still a young guy. Was he 23, 24?
I think he might be 24 now.
Yeah, and he's getting better and better, and he's understanding his game as well. He's understanding the football he wants to play.
Yeah.
And when you're doing this and the club rewards you with a new deal, that is the best time to do it, because it gives everyone else a bit of notice as well. Shit.
Yeah.
You put the effort in, you work hard, you look after your body, you improve your game, you get rewarded. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, and that gives everyone a boost. And Szoboszlai deserves whatever contract is coming his way right now. And last season...
He's 25 now. Big up to
25. It's a great age to give him a new contract as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at him last season, yeah, and I think me and you both said this last season when Szoboszlai was coming for a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
Mo Salah wouldn't have got them numbers if it weren't for Dominik Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Dominik Szoboszlai gave up his game last season to do the running, so Mo Salah didn't have to track back.
Yeah.
He did all his running for him. He was his runner. You know, we say it sometimes in cricket when the player's got a bit of an injury and all that, and they bring a runner on for him to run the wicket.
Yeah.
That is what Szoboszlai pretty much did for Salah last season. And that's why Salah got phenomenal numbers. Mostly because Salah's world class, but he didn't have to worry about the defensive running because Szoboszlai did it for him. He adapted his own game. It's like Benzema at Real Madrid when he adapted his game to suit Ronaldo. Yeah. And then when Ronaldo left, you saw the real Benzema.
Yeah.
Now you're seeing the real, and Mo Salah's still here, but we're getting the real Szoboszlai this season.
Yeah.
It's the quality of the player. don't underestimate what a player can do for a football club. Yeah, I got Jordan Henderson's book right there. I love Jordan Henderson. Yeah, I think people underestimated what he did at Liverpool Football Club.
Massively,
yeah, because he wasn't a stylish footballer. He wasn't like a sexy player. But you look what he did at our football club. You can't go and find them players. They're hard to find.
Yeah,
They're really difficult to find. Dominik Szoboszlai is one of them. So if he wants a contract right now, give it to him, man, because he deserves it.
Now, do you think there's a danger that Szoboszlai is a danger unto himself? He runs probably harder than anyone else in the team. I know he didn't cover as much distance as Wirtz in the last game, but I think he probably did harder running than
It's
Wirtz.
lateral running, ain't it? It's different, ain't it?
Yeah. Plus, he's pretty much every time I see him running, he's sprinting, whereas Wirtz sometimes will jog. He's literally sprinting pretty much everywhere he goes. And the sacrifice he makes for the team, do we have to start protecting Szoboszlai a little bit from himself? I know he's 25, but in terms of footballing years, he played a season under Klopp. He basically did the running for a midfield and an attacker last season. He's doing a lot of running so far this season. Do we need to find a way of being able to rotate him a bit more? I know we're really relying on him at the moment, but in terms of his longevity and for keeping him fit towards the end of the season as well this season, do you think we need to start rotating or finding a way of bringing him off in games to give him a rest? And if so, how do we do that?
You obviously it's to find in the right time. But yeah, you are right. He's an athletic runner. That's what he is, yeah. And you know, Szoboszlai don't walk about. He doesn't rest on the pitch, and that because he's the balance in our team. You obviously need to play him, you know, and the manager will feel like he needs to play Szoboszlai. And I totally understand it right now. But as you say, it's a long, hard season. You know, Liverpool need to look after him. He's a special talent. I think there's a player, Curtis Jones, you could easily. You know, I like Curtis Jones. I think he's a quality player. Different kind of player to Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
He won't run like Szoboszlai does, but that doesn't mean he's lazy because he's just a different kind of footballer.
Yeah.
But he also is a player that can give you control in games and change it up a little bit. So I think you can easily rotate there between them two players because I don't mind a Curtis and Gravenberch midfield with a McAllister either for certain games because that gives you control if you need it. So I think you've got a player there in Curtis that can definitely come in for Szoboszlai and, you know, give him that rest. But yeah, the manager's got to be careful with it. He's got to pick and choose the right time. But I also understand that he looks at him right now and thinks, I have to play him because he's just so good right now, you know. But yeah, you got to look after players. Sometimes players, they don't want it, but you just got to tell them that I'm in charge here. I'm looking after you.
Yeah.
And when it's the right time, it's the right time.
Indeed. Is Liverpool's spine starting to get back to where it was? Like, I remember under Klopp's main period, you had Alisson, Virgil, Matip, Flacco, Firmino. That was effectively the spine. Obviously, you had phenomenal players either side of the spine. You had your Trents, your Robos, your Hendersons, your Genies, your Sadios, your Salahs. But that spine was special, and you could build off that spine. Even under Rafa Benitez, you had Pepe Reina, you had Hupio Carragher, then you had Mascherano, Alonso, Gerrard, and Torres. Like, the spine, incredible, but we didn't have the talent either side of them. Are we getting back to a point now where our spine is starting to become one of the strongest, not just in the Premier League, but Europe? You look at, and this is if everyone's fit, you look at Alisson, Virgil, Konate, you look at Szoboszlai and Grav, then you look at Wirtz if he's playing in a 10, and then either Ekitike or Isak. Are we getting back to that point now where we are going to have that spine, and then you look at the players either side of the spine, which is top quality as well? Are we getting back to that level, or are we at that level whereby we can compete literally with anyone in Europe? We don't need to fear anyone, and we are as solid as you can get. Pause.
Yeah, look, I've always said the quality in our team is extreme. My daughter's in the room. Phoebe, quiet, baby.
She's more quiet than Alonso is, bro.
Yeah. The quality in our team, I've always said it, the quality in our team player-wise is not the issue for me. I think I've been saying this all season. I think Arsenal probably got the best all-round squad in the league. I actually think Liverpool, when they get it right, have got the most quality in the team. And I look at a lot of our quality, and I look at that spine right now, and I've got one thing to say. I'm going to say this right and get it off my chest, because I have been a critic of his, yeah. but I'm going to say this right now. Recently, looking at Ibu Konate, he's probably world class.
Oh,
and
see, you've got.
Yes.
I still don't think he's world class, but I think he's on the peripheral.
I look at the defenders around the world right now. Hang on, let me just sort her out. You go with it, Cal, and I.
No, you cool. So, just picking up on Jamie's points there, I think Ibu. The thing that doesn't make Ibu world class just yet is his consistency. I think in terms of talent, I think in terms of defending, one-on-one defending, channel defending, dominance in the air, I think for me, he needs to do that more consistently, and he needs to eradicate some of the mistakes he makes. Look, there is a notion that Virgil doesn't make mistakes, and Saliba doesn't make mistakes, and Gabriel doesn't make mistakes. They all make mistakes. It's just that Ibu makes more mistakes than they do, so it's highlighted a bit more. So for me, even though I don't think he's world class yet, I think he's very close to being world class. But for me, he has to do it more consistently, and I think a system also does help with that. I think we look at Gabriel and Saliba sometimes, and we don't understand or we make light of it that the system definitely helps those two to thrive in that environment. And I don't want to take anything away from those two because they're fantastic defenders. But what's Arteta always been criticised with, you're playing 4 centre-backs and 3 defensive midfielders. Well, Liverpool don't do that. So, and plus, Gabriel and Saliba are rarely left out on an island by themselves to defend 1-on-1 or defend 3-on-2 sometimes. So Arteta deserves a lot of credit for that because he's providing an environment for players to thrive. But back to Ibu, Jay, like, what's made you change your mind on him being world class? Because I don't think you've never once said he's like, you said it is a joke, tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
you've never once said he's crap or we should sell him. But you have said that, like, you think Gay's better, you think there's other centre backs better who we can't get. What's changed for you?
Do you know what? I look at a lot of defenders around Europe watching a lot of football. I mean, I watch a lot of Italian football and stuff like that. And, you know, I look at what defenders are available in the way, especially Liverpool play football. You know, even at Liverpool's best, they've always played with it's counter pressing, so you have a bit of risk in it. We don't, you know, even under Klopp, we didn't always protect the 2 centre backs like Arsenal do. Yeah, I think Gabriel and Saliba are good centre backs, but they are highly protected by the defensive shape of Arsenal Football Club. So they don't get isolated a lot. They don't get caught 1-on-1 and things like that. So any mistakes are hidden quite a lot of the time, but they're still great centre backs.
Yeah.
I look at Konate right now, and the last few games for me, he has stood up, you know, where Van Dijk's been wanting at times. And Konate stood up and again, I can do this, don't worry. And, you know, it's the power of him, the pace of him. Has he got a mistake in him? Yes. I think all centre-backs have got mistakes in them, but I think our centre-backs get caught with mistakes a lot more because they're all more isolated than a lot of defenders. Pelé Maldini said it best. It's one of my favourite quotes. You shouldn't know how good your defender is at defending. All right?
Same with goalkeeper. We say this about goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to see Alisson performing heroics every game.
No, and I look at Ibu and Virgil. I think, you know, Virgil is getting, he's 34 now. Mistakes will creep into his game. It's just natural, you know. And I think Ibu's, you know, coming to his age now where he's looking at it and thinking, you know, I can be the guy. And I look around centre back. I like Mark Gay. I think Mark Gay is a quality player.
Yeah.
I think Gabriel and Saliba are quality defenders. I look around Europe. Yeah, they're good defenders, they're dependable defenders. I just don't, you know, I looked at Real Madrid centre-backs the other night and I'm like, none of them are better than what we got. None of them. None of them are better than Virgil and Konate. That's why Real Madrid want Konate. You know, because they're not better. You know, I look at Upamecano, Konate's better than him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Bastoni, I'm going to say this with Bastoni now.
Careful, Jay.
Highly overrated.
Careful, Jay.
It's been, you know, he plays in a very defensive-minded side with a back three. I actually think Bastoni would be a bit in trouble in the Premier League think it might be a bit much.
Can I hold you? Can I hold you just on that point? And this, you set this up perfectly because I hear what you're saying with that.
I watch him a lot as well.
I know you do. That's why I'm saying I'm not going to sit here and chat anyone. But you see how a lot of the fan base want Gahey, and he is a very good defender. We spoke about this before we went live. Palace have got the lowest quote unquote line in the league.
Block. Yeah.
To go from a Palace team who play the lowest block in the league and playing a back three to playing in the Liverpool team who play a back two, we presume would stick with a back two, even though we'd both want to move to a back three. But in a back two with a much higher line than what Palace play, is Gahey actually the person who's best suited to Liverpool?
And this is why I don't know. I don't know if Gahey was always going to play centre back at Liverpool. That's my thing.
Yeah, you kept on saying you think he'd play in midfield sometimes.
Yeah, I think that's why they were looking.
I think he's good on the ball. I don't think he's good enough on the ball to play midfield.
I like Gahey. I think if Liverpool go try and transfer into a back three, get a back three centre back like that, perfect. You know, if that's what Liverpool wanted to do, I still believe that is actually what Liverpool were going to do under Slot, because the fact that Gahey all of a sudden said yes to Liverpool when he weren't worried about game time, and that's why he was coming, tells me I think that's what Liverpool go and do, because Joe Gomez was going to stay, Leone was going to stay, which means with that amount of centre backs you can play in that way. If you look at what Kirkes is and you look at what Frimpong is, for me it makes sense. That's how Liverpool will go start the play. But with back two defenders right now, you know, I look at a lot of teams that play, you know, away, you know, high press, counter pressing. Romero and Mickey van der Ven, good centre backs, but not trustworthy enough.
Shall I be real with you, Jay? I rate Van der Ven highly, and I'll take back before, because remember we were linked with Van der Ven before we went to Spurs.
I think more of a left back than a centre back.
Yeah, but I also hadn't seen him play loads. But all I saw was the clip of him sprinting back and stopping like a certain goal, and I was just like, "Are we just getting hyped up because he's quick?" He's a baller, you know.
He's a very good full. I just don't think he's a very good defender.
Okay, fair.
I think he's a very good footballer.
Yeah,
you know, I think we can sometimes mix up the two. You can be a very good footballer without being very good in your actual position sometimes.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So I think as a footballer, he's very, very good. You know, obviously the Champions League goal the other day, the run's amazing, but the finish was even better for a centre back. You know what I mean? It means you're a good footballer. As a centre back, if you're getting him to play left back and make him a left back, I think you can make him a phenomenal left back. Or if you're playing a back three and he plays to the left of that, I think he could be, great in that position as well. Yeah, I just look at Konate. I think Konate and Virgil at the moment have got I keep saying it. I think Gabriel and Saliba are always going to be the best two centre backs in the league as a combination, because the way Arsenal defend as a whole team, you know, from striker to goalkeeper, as a unit, they defend better than anyone probably in Europe. I look at Barcelona, yeah. So Barcelona drew 3-3 against Club Brugge, right?
Yeah.
Boy, Club Brugge have some of the best youngsters around Europe.
That goal, is it Carlos Forbes?
They have some good youngsters. Club Brugge have got some good youngsters coming through.
Joel Ordonez as well.
They're a good team.
Yeah,
and they drew 3-3, right? Look at the way Barcelona play, man. It's high line for life at Barcelona, right?
Yeah.
Put Gabriel and Saliba in Barcelona's centre backs. I don't think it makes Barcelona any better. I think they get isolated and found out a little bit. Put Virgil and Konate in there. I think Barcelona defend a little bit better, because they know how to do that role. I just, the way Liverpool are, they're always going to play some risk. And for me, if you go play risk, they're the two centre backs in the world right now. So yeah, I think people look at Gabriel and Saliba because they keep clean sheet after clean sheet. They're the two best centre backs. Yeah. They're never isolated. They're compacted. Their team is compacted. You know, it's this is the thing. Put Saliba, put Virgil and Konate in Arsenal's team. The defence is probably exactly the same.
Yeah.
Their defense is probably exactly the same. Yeah.
I think it improves. I think the defense improves. I just think you'd see more frailties with Gabriel and Saliba because you're effectively put in a situation where you've got to be perfect. Saliba and Gabriel don't have to be perfect now, which is right. Defenders shouldn't have to be perfect. There should be always someone there to bail out a defense. But in Liverpool's system, especially recently and over the last couple of years, Virgil and Konate, they've had to have been perfect in games or else.
See, everyone's saying Gabriel is world class. Are we saying Gabriel's world class because of the amount of goals he scores from set pieces?
I think that adds to it, Jay.
Or are we on about his defending as a whole? Because
I think it's both, Jay.
It weren't long ago when everyone was calling him a bozo.
I know, but this is my point. I think that if you look at Gabriel over the last 3-4 years, I think he's been as consistent as you can ask.
He's a good defender. I don't think he's bad at all. I think
but also
he's world-class,
leadership as well. I know Saliba's the one that gets a lot of the
Saliba's overrated.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Gabriel's underrated.
Yes. So again, and when people hear us say Saliba's overrated, they're probably going to say, "Oh, he's crap." No, we think Saliba's excellent, but I just think Gabriel's better. And the reason I think Gabriel's better, I think he leads. I think he's a better leader. I think he's better in one-on-one duels. I think he is more dominant in the air, but in both boxes, and his consistency. So I do think Gabriel is starting to now get the praise he deserves and should have been getting. Saliba is still excellent. Saliba is excellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Gabriel is world class. If I'm going to be honest, I do think he's world class, Joe. Genuinely do.
Yeah, so how was Gabriel at 28, 27?
About I think 28. So he's in his prime years.
Yeah,
now
he's 20. Well. He's 28 next month.
And so this is what I say.
He's coming into his prime
as
years.
You said, about 3-4 years ago, people were calling him Bozo, right?
Yeah.
He would
24,
have been
25.
24, 25, which is not the prime age for defenders. Like we signed Virgil, I think he was 26 or 27 when we signed him. We signed, like, you look at the better centre backs in the world, they're usually around the 26 to 29, 30 range because that's their. Like, I expect Konate and Saliba to still make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because they're still young. But it's about ironing those mistakes out. But yeah, Gabriel, for me, like, he's second best centre-back in the league.
No, I agree. I think Gabriel's a quality player. I just don't think Saliba's that good, man. I honestly don't. I don't think Saliba's as good as people think he is. I don't think Saliba's game goes up any higher than it is now. I really don't.
I think he needs to be more dominant in the air.
Yeah, I don't think Saliba's all that. I even think last season, well, there was a couple of seasons ago that Arsenal fans were blaming Gabriel. Were blaming Gabriel for mistakes because they were hyping Saliba up so much when it was actually Saliba's mistakes.
Yeah, but that's what happens in the Liverpool fan.
Yeah, but they were blaming Gabriel.
Saliba's not when Virgil makes mistakes.
So I like Saliba. I think he's a good footballer. I just don't think he's anywhere near as good as Gabriel is. Nowhere near. I think Gabriel's a far better centre back than Saliba at everything he does.
Fairs.
I really do. I really do.
Fairs.
I think he bails Saliba out a heck of a lot.
That's fair. I ain't got no qualms with that. Right. I want to move on to another subject. And talk has come out today that Trey Nyoni is in the difficult space, not in terms of mentally or anything like that. Hopefully he's fine on that sense. In terms of his standing in the squad now, if I'm not mistaken, he only got a new contract at the beginning of the season, I want to say. And he's someone that we all really rate for his age and think that he's someone that should have probably been getting the hype that Rio got because of how good he is for his age. But I think the under-21 manager said he's in a very difficult space in the sense of how does he get into the first team and how does he actually get minutes in the first team. We've obviously gone out the Carabao Cup, which means he's not going to get minutes in that cup. We've got to wait to see who we get in the FA Cup, but we're not going to play that game until January. And because of our league standing and Champions League standing, we've kind of got to go full strength in a lot of these games. Currently, these are the midfielders we have. You got Szobo, and these are for the pivot. You got Szobo, Mac, Grav, Jones, Endo, Bashetic, and then you still got Wirtz there who plays in the 10. We also, Jay, me and you, we want at least one new midfielder to come in. So let's say that midfielder is Wharton, just for argument's sake, yeah, because he's the one we've been linked with the heaviest. How and where does Nyoni get in any minutes?
He doesn't.
So what happens then? Because
sell him.
So
I don't think Trey's that guy.
Oh, we disagree on that then. Why not?
Trey's that guy.
No.
I don't think Trey's anywhere near as good as Stefan Bajcetic. And Stefan Bajcetic got into the Liverpool team when we have Fabinho and Henderson.
I've broken down Fabinho.
Yeah, but he still got in the team and played. And if it weren't for injuries, he'd actually probably be Liverpool's midfielder right now. I actually think injury stopped Stefan being Liverpool's main midfielder. I really do. I'm not a big Stefan fan either, okay. but
you didn't say that.
But he got into that Liverpool team, yeah, and he broke in, and people loved his game, and then injuries stopped him, and because of injuries, that's ruined his Liverpool career for me, in which I think he will leave as well, unfortunately, right? Because when he got injured, we went and bought new players, and then they took his spot. I literally do think if Stefan wasn't injury prone and he stayed fit all the time, he would have been one of Liverpool's main midfielders by now coming through, in my opinion. I look at Trey, I still don't know what Trey's good at. I don't know what his position is. Slot seems to think he's a number 6, like Gravenberch. I'm not sure. And Gravenberch is always going to play. Szoboszlai is always going to play. You got Wirtz there. You got Curtis Jones there. If Liverpool will buy a new midfielder, so I don't understand where Nyoni's going to play. And then do you keep loaning a player out just for the sake of loaning them because you got nothing for them? Or do you just go, here, kid, you're never going to play for us. Let's transfer you. Let's get you a club and let's get your career going. Because all Trey's going to do, like, where's Trey going to go on loan? Is he going to go on loan to Bristol City or something like that? Where, I'd rather Trey just train with the first team. I think Trey training with the first team is better than going on loan to another club at time.
See, me personally, if a player goes out on loan now, unless they're over the age of 20, 21, for me, they're better off going in the Championship because you're going to get more minutes, but you're also going to get introduced to the physicality of the game. Going on loan, and I always keep on saying this, going on loan to another Premier League team, you're at the mercy of what happens regarding their season. So let's say Trey goes to a Wolves, for example. Wolves are in a relegation battle. He's not going to get as many minutes because the manager is going to have to think, I need to save my job, therefore I'm going to play my experienced players rather than taking risks. And I think that's where it becomes detrimental. I am open to the idea of Trey going out on loan, but I'll be honest, I do think he's potentially that guy. And I think the knock-on effect of selling someone like a Trey Nyoni could be that we don't end up getting top talent in the future because we have to find a way of integrating him into the team. Now, granted, if you're good enough, you will play. And we saw with Rio early in the season, he was getting minutes and he was starting to shine. But since then, he hasn't really been getting any minutes either. So it is a tricky one because midfield, especially in the Premier League, that it's such an important area of the pitch. And let's say we went out and got a Wharton in the summer, but if Wharton comes in, I believe Endo goes, you've still got a Wharton ahead of you. And Wharton's not even of an age where you go, I'll give it a couple of years and I can take his spot. Is it a case of Nyoni could potentially be what Jones was when he first broke through and he could be the 6, 8 or the 10? Because we've seen Nyoni play all 3 of the midfield positions. So could he be someone that actually keeping him around makes sense? And also, could it be a thing where you look at it and go, in games where we're winning games comfortably, instead of bringing on Jones, you could maybe bring on a Nyoni?
No.
You still wouldn't?
I don't know. I don't know. Stefan got into Liverpool's team at 19, yeah? Was he 19 when he got into Liverpool's team?
I think he was 18.
18, 19. Trey's 18 now. So,
but Bajcetic at that time wouldn't have got into this current Liverpool style.
No. And for me, Stefan, you could argue at the same age, Stefan was a better player.
Yeah, I would.
You know, Barcelona looked at Stefan. You know, that's not.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I know Trey's liked by a lot of the Liverpool fan base, and they think he can be the next one through. But I just don't know. The thing with young players, at Liverpool, is you don't want to stunt their growth at the same time, right?
Yeah.
As a footballer. Now, he is only 18. But the under-21 manager probably thinks he's too good for the under-21s now. This is what the issue is. This is what the issue is with Rio as well. Rio's probably too good to play under 18, under 23-year-old football now. He needs to play big game football. So there's no point playing there. There's no point in playing in that thing. And more point of him being with the first team and training with the first team. But then he's not getting games. So then what do? Do you let him go on loan? But you can't let him go on loan because we ain't got another left winger, so he has to play and be part of the squad. With Trey right now, we've got too many midfielders in his way. You know, he's not getting in front of McAllister. He's not getting in front of Curtis Jones. Not getting in front of Szoboszlai, Gravenberch. You know, any of them players at all.
Yeah.
So, you loan him maybe next season. I would look at loan him abroad. Go to Germany, something like that.
Okay.
Go and learn a different technical side of the game, if you can. Austria, maybe.
I think France.
Another good league.
Yeah.
You know, and then 19, 20, see where he's at. By the time he's 20, 21.
We should know. Yeah.
We should know if he's going to make first team football for Liverpool. If he's not going to make first team Liverpool, if we don't feel like he's going to break into the first team or into the match day squads by the time he's 21, then you just got to think about letting him go because when is he going to do it? Yeah, he needs.
I genuinely think Trey's going to have a future and a bright one at Liverpool. It's just how long does he want to be patient for, and how long will we keep him away from the first team as much as we are? But look, I want to bring up this question because I think it's a very fair question from MB. How can we call a football player world class who hasn't got any silverware? They're just a regional class player. I disagree because it's a team sport. If you put Gabriel in Liverpool's team, in Liverpool's squad, then Gabriel is a Premier League winner. In the same way, if you put Gerrard in one of those Man United teams, or you put Gerrard in one of the Chelsea teams or the Arsenal teams, he's a Premier League winner. So I don't think silverware should be the overarching barometer of a player's world class or not. I think you have to also look at the context around the teams that they play in.
I think he's world class this season. I don't think he's world class in them previous seasons, though.
That's fair. I do. But
I think he's world class now. And if Arsenal go on to win the league this season, then he's won it when he's become that world class player. Yeah. So, yeah.
A9, Cal, why can't Trey and Ramsey be on the bench over the two goalkeepers and Endo on the bench? So Endo, I don't think you can take off the bench because the manager sees him as a closer. Definitely over one of the two goalkeepers. That I've always been confused by. I don't know, but then again,
Ramsey should have been on the bench. Man.
Ramsey should have, but if I'm not mistaken, Trey played in the Real Madrid under 21s game that day.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't have been on. But I do understand that as well at A9.
But it might be the thing where the manager don't want too many youth players on the bench. Because if Rio's on the bench, do you want Rio and Trey both on the bench? Yeah.
Papa wanted my toy coffee before we finish.
Okay. Tell him not to, okay? Tell him Daddy said no. All right, hang on, Cal.
Yeah, no, you're cool. Big up to Halftime Hooks, who's here as well in the chat. Says, hey, Cal, can you ask Jamie why he doesn't want to come on my channel, please? He's such a wind-up. When Jamie's back, we're like,
Hooks, if you invite me, man, I'll come on. There's no problem
he's
about
such
that.
a wind-up, Jay. Big up Hooks. I'll be on
I love Hooks, man. If Hooks wants me on, Hooks, hit me up, man. Come on, don't worry about that.
Becky TT, big up for the super chat. Says, big up, boys. Exact same team for City, please. Likes up. Perfect segue again. Big up to Becky.
Yeah, subscribe to Becky's channel as well, guys. She's got a new channel out now.
Oh, she got a channel.
She's got 4 videos or 5 videos out now. And go and subscribe to her channel, guys.
While you're speaking about the City game, Jay, I'll look for that channel and post it in the chat. Won't spend too long on this because we'll do our preview tomorrow on Kop-ish. But obviously, we won't get to speak to you tomorrow, Jay. How are you feeling about this City game? And do you think we stay with the same 11? Or do you think Gakpo Gakpo comes back in, for example?
I don't know.
It's mad, isn't it?
I would stick with the same 11 personally and treat Man City like Real Madrid. He was talking about playing a certain way to to stop people like Vinny and Mbappe playing. I think Liverpool have got to play in a certain way to stop Doku's and the Shirkies of this world getting the balls to Haaland. So I would sit up in exactly the same way. I'd play exactly the same way. There won't be a lot of change, to be fair. I think City are looking much better than they have before. Shirky's really playing well in the last few games. Foden's come back to a bit of quality as well. Haaland, obviously, the main threat. I still think there's a weak underbelly to Manchester City where you can get at them low. Yeah. I really do. I think there is still something there defensively about Man City where you can attack them and get something out of the game. You got to be brave against Man City, like Liverpool were against Real Madrid.
Yeah,
you got to get in their face. You got to be aggressive, win the second balls, and you'll get. I think Liverpool got potential to win the game. I think if Slot doesn't change too much, and he lets Wirtz play, and he gives him that free roll like he did against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Oh, my phone! Where's my phone going off? And I think we'll get I think there's potential we'll get a win. Look, I'll take a draw in this circumstance because City are at home.
Yeah.
But, last year, didn't we beat Villa, City, and Real Madrid in the same week this time last year as well?
Something like that, yeah. I think the difference... in fact, no. I think that the difference in that week was, I think we played City at home. So it was Villa at home. We beat 2-0. Nunes got the first goal in that game because remember that that referee, who we no longer speak of, tried to not give a free kick for Salah. Then we beat Real Madrid 2-0, and then we beat Man City 2-0 at Anfield. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Like the Man City game, it could go either way. I'll be honest with you. The more I watch Shirky, the more I wish we bought him as well as Florian Wirtz. Like that was my dream was always Florian Wirtz from the left. If we buy someone like Shirky, because Shirky can play in a 10, and then Salah, Shirky, and Wirtz could all interchange. Obviously, he went to Man City, but you look at someone like Foden as well. Foden's starting to find his feet again. Haaland is playing like the Dortmund Haaland, which is scary because everyone just thinks Haaland's this one-dimensional footballer. He's actually not. There's just instructions he's told not to do too much, so that when he's in front of goal, he has all of his energy. We have to be very careful in this game. Very careful. But what I will say is, if Wirtz doesn't start left wing, I'll be annoyed, but I won't think the manager's just being or showing favoritism to Gakpo. Because
Wirtz don't start the big games, though, does he?
Well, it's not just that. You look at how Real Madrid was set up. I think they set up in a 4-4-2, right?
Yeah.
And it was Valverde who was the right back, who's not a marauding right back because he's not actually a right back. Camavinga played a lot of his football out on the right-hand side of the midfield as well. Bellingham and Mbappe were the two strikers, and Vinny doesn't really track back. The one time he tracked back, he gave away a yellow card. There's an argument to say that Wirtz was perfect for that game. Against City, depending on who they play right back, could mean that Wirtz is doing more running backwards than he would be going forward, and may not affect the game as positively as he did against Real Madrid. So I could understand if Gakpo did come back in, as much as I'd like Wirtz to continue playing. But this for me will show where Slot's at from a tactical standpoint, because going up against Pep is never easy, but going up against Pep while City are in decent form is a real problem as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's like they've not really got a right back either. As Man City, obviously Nunes is a midfielder who plays right back.
Nunes has played pretty good.
He's played pretty well, but because he is a midfielder, he's still got them lapses as a like. Yeah, I say this all the time. When a midfielder is playing a fullback role, if the game is in front of them, they're perfectly fine with it. Yeah, if you can get the game in behind them, that's when they fall. right? So that's maybe why Cody Gakpo plays, because he's a natural left winger, right? And he attacks and tries to get in behind a little bit more. You know, maybe that's why Cody will play this game, unfortunately for Wirtz. But, you know, Shirky's played well, but with the way our midfield is, if we can pass it and move it quickly, that means Shirky has to run up and down quite a lot defensively. And that is not his strength. We know that. That's not his strongest point. I think Liverpool got a player they play against Madrid. They just do. They just got to, you know, Haaland is the main threat. You've got to be aggressive. You can't lay off him. You have to be aggressive. So Virgil Kanate probably is going to be the one picking up on Haaland the most, I would say. Got to be super aggressive on him. Got to be aggressive. Got to get tight on him. Bradley's got to be aggressive against Doku. You know,
that's the battle I want to speak about, Jay, because we've just seen how good Bradley was against Vinny Jr. Now, Doku's not better than Vinny Jr. as a footballer, but one thing Doku is going to do is he's relentless. He's absolutely relentless. How do you think Bradley gets on? Because I think that's probably one of the most key battles in this game, because we saw what he did to Trent last season. It was hard to watch at points.
I think Doku's a better dribbler than Vinny.
Yeah, he might be. No, I don't actually.
No, I think he has.
I think he's more direct than Vinny, but Vinny's for me is one of the best dribblers in the world,
and he's quicker than Vinny as well. I think it'd be a tough game for Bradley, but Bradley's just got to be aggressive. Vinny might skin him a couple of times. That happens, yeah. Can't let yourself get beaten up about it. I'm not worried about that, yeah. He's just got to be aggressive. He's got to be aggressive. Force Vinny to run backwards, like Doku to run backwards. Like he made Vinny run backwards. You know, Vinny. You know, that foul we got was because Bradley made Vinny chase him. Yeah, that's what Bradley's got to do. It's a risky and aggressive approach that takes a lot of bottle to do because you're evading your position. Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to be aggressive.
Yeah,
and if I just feel like Liverpool play better when they're aggressive and not this limp-wristed approach that we have been playing with, because it just don't suit our players. They all want to play with aggression and move the ball quickly. So I wouldn't really change anything. The 11 that play against Madrid would be the 11 I would play, but I can understand if Gakpo plays up a natural left winger up against someone who's not a natural right back. I can hear it. I can see it. It makes sense. But yeah, I think that might be the only change. I think it'd be the same, but Gakpo for. And it's a big game because I'm looking at the fixtures as well. So Arsenal got Sun.
Jones got. What do you think? Jones could have a chance of starting?
Not with that midfield three right now. McAllister's in form now. Szoboszlai, Grav. Yeah, that's the. I said this at the beginning of the season. I think one of the mistakes Slot made was breaking up a Premier League and winning 11 too quickly, and putting too many of the new players in.
Yeah,
that's a Premier League winning midfield. It didn't need to be broken up straight away. And I love Wirtz, and I think you can find a position for Wirtz in our team anyway with that midfield. It works. They complement each other. They understand each other, what they want to do. They understand the runs they're all going to make. They understand the movement of Salah. They understand the movement of Cody in front of them as well. So, yeah, I would stick with it. And Ekitike, I think, is going to be a problem for City because Ekitike drops in. He doesn't sit up there. Yeah. He doesn't occupy centre backs. You know, he will drop in, and centre backs don't like strikers that drop in because they have to follow their runs. And they don't know if they have to follow their run or stick to a position. Centre backs like being up against a striker, and he isn't going to play like that. And I think we get a lot of, if we move the ball quick enough and aggressive enough, I think we cause City as many problems as they cause us.
Fairs. Well, Jay, we're going to wrap up here, bro. Just remind the people what you've got coming card, as you like to call it. Let the people know, bro.
So I'll be live at 9:30 on my YouTube channel, and then at 10:30 on Big Up with a Vibe Show with Cal and Matt, if he I'll get in touch with him actually. But yeah, we'll be that'll be live tonight, 9:30 on YouTube, 10:30 on Big Up, guys. So, and you'll probably see me on Dan Pot Show at 4:00 as well. So here, there, and everywhere today. busy.
Indeed. Guys, as Jamie just said, you'll catch us on Dan Pot Show. Then I'll be live with Hooks at 5, or around 5-ish. Then Vibes with Kopish on Big Up, but make sure you watch Jamie's show on YouTube first. People, please do smash the like button on this video. We'd love to get 1,000 likes on this video, so please do that if you can. And let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Let us know about Szoboszlai's contract situation, the game against Real Madrid, Trey Nyoni situation, and what you would do against Man City. People, it's been a pleasure as always. Jay, always a pleasure, my bro. Thanks so much for taking the time out to do this. People, till we see you again. Thanks for watching and listening. With Kopish, stay safe, stay blessed. And we're out, people. Take care.